On today's episode, we'll be talking about my Good Vibes shawl progress, as well as my finished hand-woven dish towels. Hey everyone, I'm Marina and this is Pineapple Knits. This is my channel dedicated to knitting, spinning, and weaving. You can connect with me on social media at Pineapple Yarn, and you can connect with me on my website at pineappleyarn.com. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I'm so happy you're here. I'm coming to you today from coastal South Carolina, and I cannot wait to share with you all of my progress on my crafting, so let's get into it. I've got some sparkling water, which is perfect for this time of year. It's starting to get really warm. We're getting over 80 degrees today. I'm so excited. I love when spring turns into summer. I absolutely love warm weather. I'm super excited. And I'm burning my cucumber slices candle up here. This is a wonderful beeswax and coconut oil candle. It smells exactly like that crisp, sweet scent of cucumber. It's absolutely delicious, and I have them in the shop right now. Today I'm wearing one of my all-time favorite shawls, and I actually mentioned it last week on the episode, so I thought I would wear it today. This is my Dotted Rays by Stephen West. I should say one of my Dotted Rays. This is a wonderful, versatile pattern, and this is the small size, and I feel like it makes it even more versatile. So let me show you it. I knit this in 3 different colors. I think it may have been 4. Now I can't remember. It was a long time ago when I knit it, and it has gotten so much use. I just love the colors in it. I love the size. And so I think this is one of my yarns that I dyed. I must have knit this probably in about 2016 or 2017. This was a yarn that I dyed. I had it in the shop and I can't remember. It was maybe Coral Canyon. That might be the color. And then it goes into this beautiful, I just love this color right here. This is actually a self-striping yarn, believe it or not. This one with kind of the grays in it, and it has light blue, just real subtle. This was an experimental dye lot from Jinx Yarns, who is no longer dyeing, sadly, because she's so talented. The next color, I'll hold it like this one right here, it's this beautiful kind of brick red. It has a pink and orange in it. It's so beautiful. That was by Koigu, and it was just a little, almost like a mini skein that I had, so I don't even remember the colorway name on that or the number. I can't remember. And then at the very end, this really pretty deep pink color, I believe is by a homespun house. Maybe. And I can't remember the colorway name. If I remember, I will put them down below. But this was such a fun shawl. I really enjoy wearing it, and it definitely is one of my most worn shawls. I would love to make another one like this size. So yes, like I said last week, a shawl like this is definitely on my list of knits to be done soon. And on my mannequin, I have the Coastal Pullover by Hannah Fettig. It is knit up in one of my dyed to order bases, which I love so much. It is a 2-ply alpaca and merino blend. It is an absolute dream to knit with. I believe it's a worsted weight. And this sweater has an all over cable pattern. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is a very simple cable repeat. It looks a lot more difficult than it actually was. And the sweater itself was so much fun to knit up. This is in my colorway Coral Conch, which is probably my favorite color. Out of all the colors I dye, probably this tonal. I absolutely love this color so much. So let's get started with the Good Vibes shawl. This is a pattern from Nadia, Crétin, Léchenne, and I have really been into this lately. It has just been flying off my needles, and it is getting huge. So I can't even spread it out on the needles anymore. This is where I'm at so far. And let's see, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on stripe number 5. I'm almost finished with it. Very close to being finished with it. And then I'll add another one of these kind of variegated stripes that are the little skinny stripes that are separating this beautiful lace pattern. I messed up on these sections. I was actually supposed to do double the width of these variegated stripes and somehow misread that part of the pattern, which is probably the most simple part. Oh well, it turned out fine. I decided I didn't want to rip back a whole section and reknit it, so I didn't, and I think it's turning out cute. I like the way it is, so it's working out fine. But yeah, I think I have about 2 more of these stripes and then I'll be done. Isn't that crazy? It's really coming along. So this variegated portion of the shawl is my colorway, I Heart Beach Glass. It is so beautiful. I'm very excited about knitting it up in this pattern. I just think it's so fun. The tonal is called Pink Hibiscus. Again, love the vibrancy of this yarn. It's really coming along. This is gonna be so much fun to wear. I'm so excited. And so this is the top. I'm holding it upside down. And so this is the top, and it has this kind of angular lace pattern that gives a lot of interest. It's going to be so beautiful once it's done. It's a really pretty crescent shape too, and as I went on and on about the dotted rays, I'm sure you can understand that I love crescent shaped shawls, so I was excited to find this pattern and cast it on. So that is really all that I have to say about it. I'm using a needle size smaller, I believe a US size 5. It's a 3.75 millimeter needle. This lace pattern is a very simple repeat. I'm gonna be honest, I had trouble with it on the first row, and actually the first section. It took me the first wide stripe of this lace to really get into the rhythm of it, but by this second stripe of the lace, it really clicked with me and has been very simple. It's been super fun. So yeah, I think it's coming along really beautifully. And hopefully next week I'll be able to show you a finished shawl. These are fingering weight yarns, I should add. This is a fingering weight shawl, and so it's just perfect for 2 colors of fingering weight yarn you might have in your stash. I think you could probably make 2 variegated colors if they were high contrast and maybe a subtle variation or variegation. I think you could make those work. Otherwise, I really love having the variegated in the garter stitch section and then the tonal in the lace section. For me, that's coming along so beautifully. I'm really happy with it. Next up are my finished hand-woven dish towels. I'm so excited to share these with you. These are 4 dish towels that I just pulled off the loom, washed, finished. Everything is completely done with them. I've actually put my weaving cotton up here. I used an 8-2 cotton. It was the Maurice Brassard brand, and I purchased it from the Woolery. Let me go ahead and share with you exactly what I did. I'm not going to go into a lot of technical details because I've covered those on, I think, the previous 2 episodes. So definitely check those out if you're interested. I would also check out Trish from Fiber Love Diary. I did everything she did on her dish towels, and she has, I think, 4 different episodes going through the process. So that was incredibly helpful. But I used a 12.5 DPI heddle and basically double-stranded the warp. So I had 2 strands of yarn going through each slot and each eye, And then the weft was just a single strand, and I used my Leclerc boat shuttle. It's a plastic shuttle and it worked so well. So this dish towel was one that I used this beautiful green weft on. So you can see those stripes are really solid. But here it is, all finished. They're so pretty. They have the nicest drape. I can tell they're going to be so absorbent. They're just so beautiful. And I don't even know if you could tell a difference on camera with the different weft colors. Because you have a double warp, the patterns are going to stay the same, the stripe for the most part. So this one, the warp is in, or excuse me, the weft is in this beautiful royal blue color. And this is the one I just showed you. So let's see if you can even tell a difference. I don't know if you can. They're still very, very similar, and it's not until you get up close that you can tell the difference. I did make some errors in this, unfortunately. It's just kind of the way it was. I learned a lot from this. This is the first time I've ever woven with cotton or a non-stretchy like wool, a non-stretchy yarn. So I learned quite a bit from weaving this. This one has a white weft, and this one has this beautiful fuchsia colored weft. So you can see, maybe see the difference with those, maybe a subtle difference. But I definitely learned that the tension is not as forgiving when you have cotton versus a more elastic yarn like wool, which kind of makes sense, right? It's, of course it would be. But once I started really paying attention to the tension and getting it quite firm, making sure the tension was quite firm, it made a difference, and it was a lot easier not to make mistakes and skip threads. So yeah, here's all of them together. They all look so similar, but yay, I'm so happy with them. I just did a simple double, let's see, just a double turned hem and stitched it with a straight stitch on my sewing machine, just like Trish did in her videos. And I hemmed these before I washed them. So I separated each dish towel with a fingering weight, one fingering weight strand of yarn. And so then when I took the fabric off, I just pulled out that one piece of yarn, and it left a wide enough gap where I could stitch two rows of stitching and then just cut right in between those stitches. And I was able to hem it up quickly, and it was super easy. Super simple. So yeah, these are so much fun. I can see now why people kind of get addicted to dishcloth weaving, because it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I think next time I might try to do less colors. My 7-year-old actually chose these colors and I love them. I think I might do a little more neutral colors, maybe down the line, just because honestly it would hide errors better. And so if you have, mostly a white or a gray, or even just a dish towel that's mostly one color, you're not going to see, like a skipped stitch or something like that. And it would just make it easier, because I really would like to give these as gifts. And while a skipped stitch it doesn't affect the usage of the dish towel, you can still use it just as well. It's just the appearance that doesn't look as tidy or finished, if you will. So yeah, these were super fun. Definitely going to be doing these again very soon. And yeah, I'm so excited to have these finished, especially in time for spring and summer. They're just so fun and bright and colorful. I think they'll be so cute in the kitchen, especially with this warm weather. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me this week. It's always such a pleasure sharing all my crafting with you. I'll be back again with you next week. I hope you're doing so well where you are. You're having lots and lots of crafting time, knitting time, weaving time, spinning time, all the crafts. But it's always so much fun joining you. Thank you for joining me. I would love if you would give this episode a thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Until then, have an awesome day. Bye.